Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we got two big pieces of information here. We got a new card revealed for Photon Hypernova. It is a new, I wouldn't say Albaz fusion, but it's actually a Cartesia fusion. If you don't know, that new card coming in Darkwing Blast in like literally, what, 4 days from now. In the TCG, that card, a really interesting card. It just wasn't as accessible as we wanted it to be. This card will make that a little more interesting for sure. I will get to that in a second. And we also get information on the Trap Trick structure deck for the TCG. So cool. So let's get into this thing. Starting off here, we have our new fusion monster. Of course, this is a level 8 light spellcaster. Not a dragon. Okay, it's a spellcaster. That's interesting. 25/25 for the stats. Its name is Grand Guignol. The finale has to be the finale dragon. Really cool. And maybe this will like actually spell the finale of Albaz lore support. Who knows? But yeah. Or maybe just of the lore, and maybe we'll get other cards that are kind of mixed into the middle of the lore, not necessarily the end of it. But yeah. Anyway, its materials here are Blazing Cartesia the Virtuous. This is the card I was talking about from Darkwing Blast. Please look that card up. It gives you the ability to quick fuse. It extends itself. You control Albaz or something like that, and then has a recursion effect, I believe, in Grave as well. Really good card, but it wasn't as searchable as you'd want it to be. Plus any lighter dark monster. Pretty basic for the Albaz lore stuff. Here we go. Both of his first and second effects are hard once per turns. If the first effect says, if this card is fusion summoned, send one level 6 or higher light or dark monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard. That is insanely good. That is so good. There's a lot of really good applications there. As far as the extra deck goes, I am not sure off the top of my head as far as the extra deck is concerned, but there's a couple of main deck targets I looked up and actually found that like we'll talk about here. I didn't bring them up on the computer, but I'll run through them at the end of this. Secondly, if a monster or monsters is special summoned by an opponent's activated monster effect. So I would say something like Gigantic Sprite Elf, or maybe something like any of the tier limit effects, getting you a fusion summon. All really good ways to trigger this. You can banish this card from your field or graveyard. Graveyard, yes. Special summon one Dogmatika monster from the deck or one Despia monster from your extra deck. That's really cool. That gives you the potential to summon Quaritus or the dragon, the big masquerade, for burn damage or just like an annoying beat stick your opponent has to work around. Really cool. Or for Dogmatika's sake, summoning an Ecclesia and then searching a Fleur-de-Lis on their turn, getting you another negation and the ability to push for damage, pretty hefty damage on the next turn, is pretty dang spicy. So I like that. This graveyard effect is really cool. I like that it's pretty fairly easy to trigger. I would assume that most decks will give you a way to trigger this effect for sure. Not all of them, but there's going to be a lot of matchups that just inherently are going to let that effect trigger. So not only does it make this like a good card to make, but also a good card to just send. So whether we're talking about Dogmatika Punishment or Ultimate Slayer or, I don't know, Foolish Burial. Extra Foolish Burial is not really. This is too dependent on your opponent. It's too slow in that instance. But also, what's the other card I'm thinking of? Nadir Servant. Cheese and beans. But yeah, really cool card. The fact that this card sends any level 6 or higher light or dark monster is also crazy. I don't know from the extract. Most of those targets are going to be just Albaz lore cards, the fusions that all give you a good end phase effect to just get yourself another free card, which is really good. But as far as other targets, you have Abzerata Dragon. Getting you a search for an immediate rocket card is really quite good. Albion, the Shrouded Dragon. His effects are quite good in some of these decks as well, either getting you draws or getting you extension. It's really cool. Darkest Diabolos, if you have access to tributing, he's pretty cool to just send. If you contribute something, he's going to come back, rip a card from your opponent's hand, being a level 8 extender. All pretty good there. Destiny Hero Malicious, send one, use him to special the other. Cool, level 6 extender. Destrudo, the Lost Dragon's Frisson. Important to keep in mind, this card is not level 7 or lower, or level 6 or lower, so just summoning this card does not make Destrudo live. You'd have to have another level 6 or lower monster on the field. Eldritch the Golden Lord, if you want to out stuff, plus potentially just have like another extender. Pretty cool. Gizmek Orochi, a really good extender as well. Orcus Nightmare is another one. Orcus Nightmare could be spicy for sure. To just get into your Orcus engine, because you send Nightmare, banish Nightmare to send Wand, Wand summon back Nightmare, and now you can, now you have access to the Link to Galatea, which is pretty cool. Overtext Quatless, another good one. Send it and just get access to Double Evolution Pill to get yourself to an Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Pretty powerful. Tennies are somewhat funny here because you could send Ashina or Vashuda. You would have to put a non-effect monster on the field to make them live, but that's still something worth noting. And the last one here is the new card, Bestial Lubellion. It's one of the starters for the Bestial engine. If you just send him to grave, you can then use him to tribute this card, which gets it engraved to make that second effect live. It would already be live on field, but it's still live. He comes back, and then he can just set you a branded continuous spell or trap straight from deck. So you can kind of get into that part of your engine via that way. There's a handful of other extract monsters. I didn't look those up. That's on me. Feel free to let me know some of those options down in the comment section down below. But yeah, really, really interesting card. I think this card really could come up. And the final piece of information here is new Trap Trick Structure Deck information. We have an official TCG announcement here. We are getting this Structure Deck in the TCG, which is so cool to hear. The date it is confirmed to be coming is February 24th, 2023. So not that bad, honestly. Only like a 2.5 months after the OCG gets it, which could be worse. Other than that, there's no real information here. They really don't say anything too crazy. Check out new Photon Hypernova cards for some cards that might have synergy here. I think we've already seen some of those insect cards come out. They're fine. I don't know if they'll really have that good of synergy, but they're funny. Other than that, they just pretty much go through and say get classic Trap Trick cards, also get really good, strong new ones out of the structure deck, and go from there. But yeah, it's really nice to see that we have it confirmed for the TCG. I know people get really sad when OCG structure decks end up getting imported because they usually end up harder to get, way more expensive for the consumer who just wants that one deck. And so it's nice to see a structure deck confirmed here. I will absolutely be picking it up, even if the support is mediocre. All right, but that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, let me know your thoughts on everything here, the new fusions. If there's any applications I did not mention here today, please throw that down in the comment section down below, plus your general thoughts about the card. Is it good? Is it not? Is it worth it? It does not have Albaz in the text, so it is not as accessible for certain other cards, so that's important to keep in mind. And then the Trap Tricks structure deck, are you pumped that it's in the TCG? I know I am. We should be really close to just getting first reveals on that structure deck support. We're really excited to see it. Hopefully, it lives up to the hype in my mind. But yeah, I'm out of here for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe to the channel for more stuff from Jip Boy down the line, and I'll see you in the next one.